For centuries, the name Viking has conjured images of fearsome warriors, axe-wielding raiders emerging from the mist. But what if this simplified image barely scratches the surface of a far more complex and fascinating truth? The Viking Age, roughly spanning from 800 to 1050 CE, was a transformative period in the Middle Ages. It was a time when Norsemen from Scandinavia embarked on large-scale raiding, colonizing, conquest, and extensive trading across Europe and even reaching North America. While many did engage in piracy, the term Viking in a broader sense applies to all Scandinavians of this era, encompassing their diverse roles as farmers, craftsmen, and merchants, not just warriors. Their influence was vast, shaping cultures and politics from the British Isles to the distant shores of North America. From their homelands in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, the Norse people began a remarkable expansion. What drove these ambitious voyages? Historians propose several intertwined factors. Economic opportunities, such as the growing wealth of towns and monasteries overseas, were a strong draw. But there were also push factors from within Scandinavia: potential overpopulation, a scarcity of fertile farmland, and the political strife arising from the unification of Norway. Even the aggressive expansion of the Carolingian Empire and the forced conversion of the Saxons to Christianity may have played a role, potentially inciting a response from pagan peoples. Crucially, innovations in sailing technology allowed Vikings to journey further and for longer durations, fundamentally enabling this era of exploration and expansion. The Viking Age is often said to have begun in England with the devastating attack on Lindisfarne Abbey on June 8, 793 CE. This center of learning on an island off England's northeast coast was ransacked, its monks killed or enslaved, and its treasures taken. The shockwaves of this event were immense. The Northumbrian scholar Alcuin of York wrote, "Never before in Britain has such a terror appeared." This raid cemented the image of Vikings as violent and bloodthirsty, a perception perpetuated by chronicles describing them as wolves among sheep. While Lindisfarne was a turning point, archaeological evidence suggests earlier contacts and smaller incursions in the British Isles before 793 CE, with raids expanding significantly in scale during the 9th century. The Vikings were not merely raiders, they were remarkable colonizers and state builders. They established significant settlements and founded numerous kingdoms and earldoms across Europe. These included the Kingdom of the Isles, Orkney, York, Jorvik, and the Danelaw in England, Dublin in Ireland, Normandy in France, and Kievan Ruses in Eastern Europe. In England, the arrival of the great heathen army led by figures like Ivar the Boneless, Halfdan, and Ubba, alongside Guthrum, saw the conquest of York and the establishment of a lasting Viking presence known as the Danelaw. To the west, they settled in the British Isles Ireland, the Faroe Islands Iceland Greenland, and famously, briefly in Newfoundland, becoming the first Europeans to reach North America in 1021 CE. In the east, known as Varangians, they voyaged along the Dnieper and Volga trade routes, establishing the early East Slavic state of Kievan Ruses with its capital in Kiev, and extending their reach to the Black Sea and Constantinople. The establishment of Normandy in 911 CE, granted to Viking leader Rollo by the Frankish king Charles the Simple, eventually led to the Norman conquest of England in 1066, fundamentally altering the course of English history. Central to Viking expansion was their unparalleled shipbuilding and navigational prowess. Their clinker-built longships were uniquely suited for both deep and shallow waters, allowing them to navigate open seas, coastlines, and major river valleys with astonishing efficiency. While the exact methods of their open sea navigation remain debated, studies suggest they may have utilized optical compasses and Iceland spar sunstones to locate the sun, even in overcast conditions. Beyond their ships, Viking culture boasted sophisticated craftsmanship, evident in their intricately designed weapons, such as axes and swords, and their characteristic longhouses. Their extensive trade networks connected them to distant lands, facilitating the exchange of goods including Byzantine silk and even coins from Samarkand, alongside the darker aspects of their trade, such as slaves. It wasn't until the 19th century that scholars began to extensively reassess the Vikings, recognizing their significant artistry, technological skills, and seamanship beyond their reputation as raiders. By the 10th and 11th centuries, the tide began to turn. Organized resistance from forces like the Saxons and Slavs, employing trained mobile cavalry, made inland Viking incursions increasingly difficult. Internally, a major factor in the decline of the Viking Age in Scandinavia was the gradual establishment of royal authority and the widespread adoption of Christianity. Key figures like Olafur Haraldsson, later known as Olav the Holy, played a pivotal role in Christianizing Norway, often harshly, leading to the Battle of Stiklestad in 1030, a turning point for Christianity in Norway. In Sweden, the reign of King Olaf Skotkonung, the first Christian king of the Swedes, marked the transition to the Middle Ages. The end of the Viking Age is traditionally marked by specific events in different regions. In England, it's often associated with the failed invasion by Norwegian King Harold III at the Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066. In Ireland, the capture of Dublin by Strongbow in 1171 is a significant marker, while in Scotland, the defeat of King Håkon Håkonsson at the Battle of Largs in 1263 signaled the end of significant Norse influence. However, for some regions like Orkney and Shetland, under Scandinavian authority until as late as 1469, a long Viking age could be argued to have stretched into the 15th century. The impact of the Vikings on European history, language, and culture is undeniable and enduring. From place names in England to the genetic makeup of modern populations, their legacy is woven into the fabric of the modern world. The simplistic image of bloodthirsty barbarians has given way to a more nuanced understanding of a complex people skilled navigators, astute traders, innovative craftsmen, and adaptable settlers. Modern archaeology and genetic studies continue to unveil new layers of their story, constantly challenging and enriching our understanding of this remarkable era. The Viking Age was not a monolithic period, but a dynamic era characterized by diverse activities and profound transformation. It was a time of immense movement, innovation, and cultural exchange that fundamentally reshaped the medieval world. The story of the Vikings is more than just raids and pillage. It is a testament to human resilience, adaptability, and the relentless drive to explore, settle, and connect with the world beyond their horizons. Their echoes resonate even today, reminding us of a vibrant and complex past that continues to captivate and inspire. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing.